Okay, so for standard canvas like this size, which is probably an 8 by 8, I usually fill up a Dixie cup full of paint, and that's perfect size. I don't have any more Dixie cups, so I'm using a container that you measure water for your iron, but I'm not going to fill it up completely because it will be too much paint. So let's start with just filling up paint, and usually I start with white or black. And so I'm just going to put in some white in here like that. And then I usually alternate light and dark colors. Sometimes I don't, it just depends. I think I'll use green. So I've got raw umber, burnt umber, yellow ochre. Again, a lot of, oops. So this is the green that's got the silicone in it. And it probably needs some more pouring medium. It's a little thick. But I'm just going to keep going here. So some burnt umber. And then I have some gold. But I think this is the raw umber. Nope, this is the gold. It's a little. We got some gold in there. The gold and the bronze and silver really just make your pour pop, and it just looks better. So I'm gonna put some brown. Now my colors are fairly dark with this painting. I usually choose, 4 or 5 different colors, depending on what you're looking for. A little more white here. And I probably need another round of paint because I don't have enough paint for this yet. This probably needs to be 3/4 filled, and then I'll be good to go. So I think I'm gonna put a little bit of navy in here, or actually this is a royal blue. And then maybe a little bit of this. Can't tell what this is. If this is the gold and the umber, or the raw umber look similar. This is my gold, so I want to put a little bit of the umber in, or yellow ochre, excuse me, yellow ochre. So putting a little bit of yellow ochre. These are very unusual colors. I don't typically work with these colors, but what the heck, this is an experiment, right? So maybe we'll put a little bit of green in. So most of the colors are very fall colors, except for the blue. It's just, and some of these paints are just a little bit thick. I just need to add a little pouring medium to them. I might put a little more gold. And you don't have to do the same sequence of colors, but you can. Okay, there we go. Some more gold. And a little more white. I think that should probably be good. Maybe I'm 2/3 on this. Maybe we'll end it with some light blue because I haven't used that. There we go. Okay, so I am close to 3/4. And so normally what I do is I'll take this and I'll put it here and then just upside down, I will quickly move it upside down and do the pour that way. But I'm doing an experiment this time. I found this little music box sort of that I can put my canvas on, and then it's just going to go around slowly, and then I'm going to drop my paint while it's moving and see what we get. And we get a little music. Here's the canvas, and then we're just going to start pouring. I saw a pour that was done by someone. They used a potting wheel, and it was really cool. It looked like this sunburst. I don't think this is quite a comparison to that because this is going too slow. I think you'd have to move this much quicker. But what the heck? We've got some nice music, and we're going to put this aside, turn it off. There we go. So now I've got this little blob of paint here. And then I'm just going to start moving it around. That's the really cool thing. It looks like so many, like our gold, you can't even hardly see it. So it's really interesting how the colors can sort of, you can see I have a lot of white, but so many colors can sort of disappear. But as you play with this more, some of them will come, you'll start seeing colors. Hopefully we'll see some cool cells because we added some silicone to the green. That I can't even see the green now. We only put, we put 2 small layers of green in, and it was fairly thick. You want your paint to be, you know, again, a 1-to-1 with the pouring medium. Otherwise the paint is too thick. And you have about 20 minutes to work with this from the time you start pouring until the paint will no longer move. But the closer you get to the 20 minutes, the harder it is to move your paint. So you really want to start moving your paint right away as soon as you can. So you can see see the paint just moving down the canvas. I'm just trying to cover the canvas at this point. And I don't have to because I did paint remember I painted this. You can see a few little spots here. But as it's working its way down, it takes a while to do this. But you can start seeing the really cool colors coming through, the blues and some of the green that has that silicone in. You're going to see some pretty cool cells that will start developing. But right now it's moving pretty slowly. So we're just moving this around until we get a painting that we like. But you can see how quickly it starts like slowing down. In the very beginning, it was pretty quick, the movement of the paint. But again, we have, some of our paint was fairly thick and probably could have used some more pouring medium, but I ran out, so it's the best I could do. I recommend you buy the pouring medium in a 64 ounce size because you're going to go through it pretty quickly. And your paints, you need to buy in larger quantities. Buying those little small ones that you get at Michael's, they will not last you more than one pour. So we're just trying to get the paint to different parts of the canvas. So far this is very, very clean and not as messy as I usually get. But you can see these really interesting, it's coming down here, slowly, slowly making its way down. And you can start seeing really cool designs. And I thought, you know, because of the colors, I've not ever combined these particular colors. But I thought because it's fall, it would be cool. And so sort of the fall's up here, and then you have the summer trying to break through the fall because we're not quite there yet. Fall's just starting. So it's sort of cool how the two sort of seasons come together just based on the color of the paints. So I'm going to continue to work this. Just back and forth, just moving my canvas, trying to get that paint down there, and then I'm going to flip it and get this side. Again, you have like 20 minutes, and the closer you get to that 20 minutes, the slower the paint goes, and it's much harder to move the paint around. And sometimes you might be a little short on paint, so you can just add a little bit more paint and then just use similar colors and then just add a little more paint and finish off the canvas if you want the entire thing covered in paint, which of course I do. But I could just stop right here. It's cool. Canvas has been already painted white, so there's still coverage there, but I sort of prefer the paintings that cover the full canvas. That's just my preference. But you don't need to do that if you don't want. The great thing about this is it's it's hard to make a mistake. The hardest part about this is getting your painting dry without it getting ruined. The dog knows, person picks it up because they think it's dry. That's why this little box that I've made is perfect, because people they know to stay away from that. Okay, so I've just about come to the end here, and you can see it's starting to coat the sides. Sometimes you can just use your finger and then just coat the sides with that. But I am just about at the bottom here, and then I'm going to work on this side here, and when that's done, I will be back to show you the final product.